This is IGN. The Invisible Man director's latest spin on a Universal monster prioritizes craft over story. This is your IGN movie review of Wolfman by Katie Rife. There's a shot in Wolfman that's so good, it's used twice. A parent and a child, first father and son, then mother and daughter, are hiding in a hunter's deer blind in the damp Oregon woods, cowering from an unseen threat. We hear that threat growling and panting as it approaches, until it's inches away on the other side of a waist-high wooden door. It's so close, in fact, that the steam from its breath wafts over the top. Director Leigh Whannell frames the shot like a landscape, with the door as the horizon. The image is eerie and beautiful, and it's the closest we'll get to Wolfman's titular beast for quite a while. We'll see plenty of the monster later on, both in its original incarnation and as family man Blake Lavelle, played by Christopher Abbott, mutates after an attack. Whannell's approach to the transformation scenes, a centerpiece of any werewolf movie, is clever, as is typical for the Australian screenwriter-turned-director who helped launch the Saw and Insidious franchises before rebooting The Invisible Man in 2020. Blake devolves scene by scene rather than all at once, eliminating any unconvincing transitional moments. First, he breaks out in a red, painful rash. Then his jaw shifts into an underbite. Then the fangs. The final form of this Wolfman is unique as well, part Bigfoot, part burn victim. Most interestingly, Whannell reimagines lycanthropy from a curse to a disease, sending the affected into a green and purple delirium that's a bit like the Further in the Insidious movies. This fresh take on werewolf lore is one strength of Whannell's version of the Wolfman. Another is his knack for inventive, robotically precise camera movements. The sound design is excellent as well, which goes a long way towards adding tension to multiple scenes of characters standing at the end of dark hallways holding their breath. On the negative side, all that visual gloom means this is one of those movies that'll be hampered by any theater that hasn't properly balanced the contrast and brightness of its projectors. Then we must turn to the story. After a documentary-style title card informing the viewer of a Pacific Northwest phenomenon indigenous people call the face of the wolf, an opening sequence takes us back to 1995, where a rugged survivalist and his son are terrorized by a canine creature that walks on 2 feet, leading to the cool shot mentioned previously. Fast forward to 2025 San Francisco, where that kid has become one of those soft soy boys that so enrage certain people on the internet. Blake even stays at home raising his daughter, Ginger, played by Matilda Firth, while his wife, Charlotte, played by Julia Garner, rather improbably provides for the family with her salary as a newspaper reporter. The lighting in The Wolfman is very theatrical, which is interesting, but it's another symptom of prioritizing craft over storytelling, which is compounded by the fact that, by the halfway point, it's obvious how all this will end. Leigh Whannell's Wolfman is impeccably made, with a unique take on werewolf lore, but the emphasis is on craft over storytelling. Universal has updated its most famous lycanthrope for the 2020s, with some very successful camera wizardry and stylish lighting and sound design. But the storytelling is less successful, sacrificing tension for muddy commentary on gender. Wolfman's IGN score? 6. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest Wolfman updates, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.